Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's right, push until I fall. I'm slipping to get back up, always stand tall, I'm grinning. I got cuts real deep, been bruised and scarred. I had to learn how to think with my head and my heart. I've been chewed up, spit out, torn apart. But picking up all the pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
Well, hello, hello, hello. I did not plan on going live at all, but my gosh, the recent events, the threats, the anguish, all over a TMZ article that made you look bad, John. Going after an innocent woman. Like, since I've been talking to Paul, I have found out, like, oh, these dogs are mistreated. Really? Miss Mary, I found out since talking to them, she goes and buys them ribs every day. And I said barbecue, and I thought, she's like, oh, I don't barbecue them. I put them in the oven. And she treats these dogs like royalty, but that's all been misdisplaced or misconstrued, miscommunicated by John Yates, because he's butthurt because he literally gaslit a family. He literally took and exploited a story and made money. The only person to benefit off of this shit was you, John. The only person. I'm sending his mom a link again. Let me try. I'm sending it to you, Miss. Oh, she's probably not listening. Copy. That's going to be the StreamYard link. So. And that's where the vitriol is coming from, the fact that, John, you're exposed. Do you know Newsweek and shit? Like, and the thing is that John's probably going to get some really, he's like, no publicity is, or all publicity is good publicity. Yeah, you're about to get the bad publicity because you made this into a story. She's going to come up. We just got off the phone. I was not going to go live. John incited all of this. And he made money. And John, you did make money. There she is. All right, turn off your camera, Miss Edna. If you can hear me, I know you can. So there you go.
Thanks.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm still stressed. This has really been traumatic mess. First, I never contacted him, and he called that night, and I called him.
You're a little bit in and out. Are you getting on earpods?
No, and I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't touch anything.
Okay. I can hear you.
So
You're cutting out.
okay, I think if me just if I would have just called the and located, alerted the embassy, he was very nice. The U.S. Brazilian embassy man was extremely helpful, and I wish I would have just left it with him for him to take care of alone. And I wish John wouldn't have gotten so many people involved, because it's now snowballed effect where he's blown it way out of proportion. Yes, everybody. I was very stressed and worried, and yes, I was so thankful that he was alive. I do believe that he did have poor communication. I don't know why it took him a while to get back to me and let me know. I don't have all the answers. I was just grateful that he was alive and he was okay. For him to think
Absolutely.
I was in on, and if anything would do about court, that everything like that, I can't believe I would be stupid enough to say anything at all about it. But it is sealed private, so not to be put on social media, not at all. So
And he's now using that and threatening and willing to give screenshots and trying to aid and abet anything that he can do to disrupt your family situation right now. Actions.
it's just wrong and evil,
Yeah.
and now he thinks that I'm a phony. He said, now I'm a phony, and I was in on it, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
where? I tried calling him after the next day when all this happened. When all this happened, I finally got him. I kept trying to call him. I have call logs on it, and messaging him, and he would never return my call, and he would never message me back. Now,
No,
why?
because he was too busy. But he also said yesterday, like, I'm not going to show any screenshots. I'm not going to do anything. And like, what happened between that time and that time? What did he see the TMZ article that might not have backed up his story, and so he got fucking infuriated? That's what I think happened. And it's unfortunate that he's threatening and trying to get people thrown in jail.
Because
And
he told me he was going to drop it and no more posting and all this and that, and then all this started up again. And I mean, I don't know why. I was sick the other night, went to bed, and I saw he was on a live, and I thought he'd already said this was over with, and he was cussing and calling Paul every name in the book. So I did called him live, and I said, and Paul got upset with me on the phone, and he did say some not very nice words, but he was upset with me because he said, Mom, why did you trust him? Why were you talking to him? You shouldn't talk to him. He's not to be trusted. So
he's not ever. And you didn't know that though. And you thought because he was in your ear calling me a bitch and I'm not to be trusted and get off the phone with her now. And all I was trying to do was make sense of the situation. And all he was trying to do was keep the press with him and his name in the press and him getting an exclusive. And John, you did make money on those write-ups. You made $200 to $500 a piece because you sold that shit to the tabloids, which is why you never went live until Sunday evening with the fact that you had talked to Paul for several hours the day or the morning before. So stop your fucking bullshit, John. You made clicks, views, $319 in super chats, no telling how much off the table with the tabloids. And you sold this story and you made it bigger than it was, and you've upset this woman who's already had to go to the doctor and is still not feeling okay. And you should be ashamed of yourself.
he'll turn it around. He won't see it that way.
Well, he should, because that's the facts. He's the one that took and ran with the story.
John, if you see this, John, because I know you got me blocked and I blocked you now, but I trusted you. I trusted you and I believed you. I wish you would have never got involved. Anyway, I hope there's a lesson to be learned, and people don't trust everybody. Now, I have heard of several compliments on you, and if I was going to say anything to anybody, I should have talked to you. But I don't talk to bloggers, so I didn't know.
Well, thank you.
Anyway,
I know you didn't know.
Anyway,
well, thank you for coming up and clearing that up. We will keep it short and sweet, like we said we were.
The dogs are perfectly fine, and if anything was, if there was a scam, also, if that was even the case, I didn't know. I wouldn't have called the embassy. 1 and 2, I alerted through messages to Paul. I didn't know if he was getting them or not, because it was like he said, his picture would come up and then it would go off sometimes. And I thought somebody's got his phone. Somebody's got his phone, because I didn't know what was going on. So I sent messages, just so you know, if anybody get in touch with Paul, I'm going to the embassy tomorrow. And I had already emailed him. I emailed him first, and then I called him and talked to him the next day. And the guy at the embassy was super nice and super helpful, and went out of his way and called me the next day to let me know. I'd already known that Paul had reached out and was okay. So if that was a scam, that Paul wouldn't have done that. It's too risky.
Paul, I think,
stupid.
would have also told you not to alert the embassy,
Oh,
not
yes,
to
what I meant.
alert.
He would have came back and told me real quick, Mom, I'm okay. Don't do this, because
Yeah,
I'm okay.
don't.
But he
And you
didn't.
alerted them a day, like 12 hours before you actually called the embassy, that you were going to call the embassy. So he had
Exactly.
plenty of time to shake the fucking story. And it still took a lot of time after you alerted him that you were doing that before he did.
Right.
He also was not, and while he was in a hammock and getting probably eaten alive by bugs, he was on a houseboat. And that's how they live in Brazil. They live on hammocks. And whenever he told me all this and he showed me the houseboats and on Google Earth and everything, I was like, well, this makes a lot more sense. And then, but John went live, called you and said it was a scam, got you all kinds of upset. And then he goes live the next day and says he has no proof.
Well, I woke up and saw he was live, and I went off and went crazy. And I called him and I said, what is going on? What are you doing? What's going on? And he started telling me, oh, it's all a hoax. It's all a hoax. It's all a hoax. It's all a scam. And I'm like, where did you get this information? Where did you get this from? I never got any answers. I don't know who told him this.
Well, no, it's because he hung up on you and he was like, it's okay, go to bed, get some rest, we'll talk later, bye-bye. And he didn't tell you anything, and you believed him because, of course, anybody that is a layperson is going to think, oh, he's telling the truth.
Well, he never
really,
called me back, and I did send him a lot of messages, and I did call him a lot of times, and it was almost like I felt really used then, because I felt like he used me and got what he wanted or whatever, and then just let go. I mean,
and he did.
That's really sad. And so people out there, thank you for all your prayers. I'm grateful that Paul's alive. I don't know what all happened, but I know he's alive, and I had nothing to do with it. And as far as I know, Paul didn't either. So, Brooke, thank you for clearing that up for me.
You're very welcome.
I'm sorry if I was mean to you at first, because I was just warned. I didn't mean to be, and I so apologize for that.
It's okay, Miss Mary. We all know where the truth lies, and thank you for coming up. And I'll drop you down when you're ready, but I don't want you to leave, but I know you don't want to stay.
No, unless you want to ask me anything else, anything you want.
Does anybody have any questions, guys, in the chat? Because she is the sweetest lady, and I feel so sorry for her. And John, you should be ashamed of yourself, because you have been such an asshole to this entire family through this entire ordeal for your own gain and own benefit. It's absolutely deplorable.
Well, he said he's been to the police. He's been to the police station, and I better leave him alone. And I'm like, I'm not worried, because I didn't do anything.
Well, y'all have already filed a police report on him last night, so there's that.
Yeah, Paul said that. Yeah, so I thought, well, whatever.
And he's already posted it. So
it came to that. It should not ever came to that. I don't know.
Reagan. I know. But I'm not even going to stay long. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for coming up. I'm going to end this live. Everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And thank you, Brooke, for making this right.
You're so welcome. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.